I think that sleeping with a woman, you learn more about them. It's a closer relationship. So I'd say probably sleep with X amount, not crazy amounts, but I would say that, okay, let me give an example. If I go to the supermarket and pick up an apple, and it's the only apple I've ever eaten, can I really say if it's a good apple or a bad apple? It's the only apple I've ever tasted. It might be sour, it might be terrible, I don't know. Whereas if I try 10 apples, I can tell the differences between apples. I say, what's a good apple, what's a bad apple? I think you need that degree of experience, because sometimes you'll be with a woman and go, yeah, she's great, but if you're not experienced enough, you realize she really isn't all that great and she actually treats you like a dickhead. Whereas if you've been with enough women, you can always reference back to that girl who actually was really good to you. And you'll probably mess it up because you're young and you're dumb. We've all done it. All of us have that girl we had who was perfect when we were young, and we all ruined it because we're stupid.
Who was that person for you?
I think lots of men have gone through heartbreak. A lot of men have, and I wouldn't say that I've gone through any heartbreak which is particularly worse than any other guy. What I will say is that I think heartbreak is the most fantastic motivator on the planet. When a lot of men message me and say they're heartbroken, I think that is the most fantastic mindset to be in to achieve things. Because there is that degree of revenge, and there is that degree of vengeance, and that can only be achieved through being so successful, so monumentally important that she can't forgive you. And also, you cannot even sleep, you can't even concentrate, like your whole mind's a mess. That's the perfect time to train. I know what you're saying. I don't think I've been through a particularly bad heartbreak. Let's analyze now, right? There's no girl who I've ever been with in my life who can now turn on the internet without seeing my face. Isn't that beautiful? They have to all lie to their man and pretend they don't know me.
Oh, I don't know him.
Because if they go, I was with him for a few years, their whole relationship will probably break down, because then he's gonna get pissed off and insecure. So that to a degree is a victory. That's kind of fun. But no, I didn't have any. The reason I say heartbreak is because in the modern world, I don't think things were as bad when I was younger. I think women were more pure when I was younger. Even when I was 20, it's only 16 short years. I think women were actually a lot purer before OnlyFans, before Instagram. The sexual marketplace wasn't globalized. Yeah. When I was 20, if there was a hot girl in the small town, she was the hot girl in the small town. Now, if she's the hot girl in the small town, she's also in Dubai and Courchevel. And the whole world's globalized. The competition's globalized. Everything's changed. I didn't have a particularly hard time. The reason I say heartbreak is because 80% of the emails I get from men are about heartbreak. I think that most men, especially young men in the world today, are getting their hearts broken. And when you're saying who are they leaving for, they're leaving for the millionaire who hits them up on Instagram. The emails I get, you're a guy, you're in Nebraska, to high school sweetheart, she's a 10, everything's fine, she's in Courchevel with a millionaire. When you have experience with lots of different apples, you know what a good one and a bad one is. So when we say we all had that girl we messed up when we were young, if I found another girl with those qualities, I certainly wouldn't mess it up. You need experience to understand what you have to value it. If you don't have experience, you don't value what you have. So the original question is a really good one of whether men are chained and enslaved by their desires, or whether they need to sleep with lots of women. I think in the modern world you need experience, and you need choices, and you need options. But if you live by the sword, you die by the sword. If you're gonna be the guy who's also out there in the club and sleeping with lots of girls, talking to lots of girls, there's gonna be times you lose a girl that you don't want to lose. You can't be a coward about it. You live by the sword, you die by the sword. There's up and down, there's rain and sunshine. You have to be that man who's gonna go through it all. And then when you've been through enough of it, like I have, like I said, if I find a beautiful girl now who's a 10 and deletes and doesn't want Instagram, that's worth more to me than 1,000 stupid girls. Respect. Yeah, that's who I want. Yeah. If your woman wouldn't wait for you if you went to jail for 5 years, why are you with her? Why? If she wouldn't wait, I know she's hot, I know she's funny, I know she makes you laugh, but if you can't sit in that jail cell with 100% certainty that she's not out with her friends, them in her ear, talking shit, watching Sex and the City, whatever it is, and her ending up with some other guy, why are you even buying her dinner? For what, sex? Like, that loyalty to me is the only thing left that's valuable. When me and Tristan were in jail, we were sitting there saying we have it so much better than most guys. Because most guys in jail, imagine you're a normal person, you go to jail. Who's feeding your family? Who's paying the rent? Who's feeding your kids? I said, Tristan, we're in jail and we're suffering. Everybody we love is good. I'm a man, I'm supposed to suffer. I'll sit here with the cockroaches. If that means all my kids eat, everyone I care about eats, my mother's fed, my mother has a house, roof over her head, everybody has everything they want. Only person suffering is me. I'll take that all day. Most men who go to jail can't say that. Another thing that gave me absolute peace of mind is the women who love me are waiting for me. Imagine you go to jail and you're completely heads over heels in love with a woman, but you know deep in your heart that she's out in the club and she's stealable. We talk about thoughts you can't get out of your head in jail. It's amazing how when you lose all access to electronics, how thoughts are amplified. Most of us sitting here, you've never been without a phone or without a laptop or without a computer for 93 days. You'd be amazed how loud you can think. You'd be amazed how vivid your mind is. I learned that. If you had the nagging thought in your head, I loved her, she cheated on me before, maybe she cheated again, she hasn't written me in 3 days, and then plus jail. That's why they're all crying. That's why all the men in there were sobbing. Their wives are either fucking someone else or the bills ain't paid. It's not just his situation, it's everything else. So now if you're gonna say to me, what do I respect in a woman? I respect a woman who's gonna wait for me. I have no interest in a woman, oh, she's funny, she's cool, she's hot. Don't care. Don't care. Is she going to wait for me? And I also know, because of my experience, which ones would and which ones wouldn't. I'm not stupid. Because they'll all say they would. They'll all say they'll wait, because they're on the jet. But I know which ones are lying. Because enough women have lied to me. I've seen it. So you do need that experience, but once you have the experience, you start looking for completely other things. Women respect experience. In fact, I saw on a TV show, and this was like 10 years ago, and I have no idea what the show was, but it was a show about, it was on Channel 4 in the UK, and it was a show about sex, and 85% of virgin women would rather sleep with a man who'd already had sex than a virgin man. Wow. A virgin woman doesn't even want a man with the same level of experience. You're respected for your level of sexual experience. And women are naturally demonized for their level of sexual experience. And even the ones in the West who pretend that's not true, the ones who are fully psyoped, wait till they see a girl they don't like. What's the first thing they call her?
She's a hoe.
Whore, slut. First insult out their mouth is she's promiscuous. So they know deep in their heart promiscuity is bad because they call each other promiscuous when they want to insult each other. So yeah, you absolutely need that experience to make sure you don't get wrecked in psyop. But now, just in my current dating life, and it's good that this is on this podcast, so the girls can still email me. It's nice to read, but sorry, I don't trust any of you. I don't trust any of you. I don't trust anybody new. I have no new friends, no new girlfriends. Absolutely no, I'm not interested in any of it because the things I value now are not the things I valued when I was younger. My life was very, very different, but I'm glad I had that experience now so I can see who is lying and who isn't. I can tell. I can just instantly tell if they would lie or not. I live an experience and I analyze the experience and I draw every lesson from that experience. If you're a man who has their heart broken, a lot of them are so stupid that they may revert to the mindset that you've said. They may say, oh, I don't want to have my heart broken again, but they haven't sat there and said, why did this happen? You have to know the why to prevent it from happening. You have to analyze the scenario and learn from it. One thing I'll say about women that's fantastic, one of the best things women one of the things women are best at is they're a fantastic mirror. Women are a reflection. If you have any weakness inside of you, or if you have any downfalls as a person, a woman's gonna show you who they are. If you're too emotional, if you're too easy to get angry, she'll teach you that. She'll teach you that you can get angry too fast. Piss her off. If your dick's small, she'll tell you. She'll tell you exactly what is wrong with you when she is mad. She'll sit there and say, you got a short leg and your haircut shit. Get a new haircut. I hate your ugly ass. They'll tell you exactly what is wrong with you. When you look at your bad or your previous relationships with women that went wrong, you can sit there and go, okay, this all went wrong. What has she taught me? She taught me that I'm emotionally affectable. She taught me that if she ignores me, she gets more attention than if she's nice to me. She taught me, you have to sit there and analyze all the lessons and you have to implement them. It's the same with absolutely everything. But women are a fantastic mirror. A lot of these guys who resort to that are men who don't have the self-reflection to sit and say, okay, why did this happen? As a man, you have to be accountable for absolutely everything. Every single thing that happens is your fault. I didn't go to jail because of Romania. When I was in jail, it was my fault. Even though I don't believe it was just, even though I do not believe it was fair, even though I know I am innocent, it is my fault. Because I didn't have to become so influential. I did it. But it's also my fault when I'm on the jet and living my perfect life. I did that. I did the good, I did the bad. You made her leave you. You did. Whether you like it or not, you are the reason she became so cold. You are the reason she doesn't listen anymore. You are the reason she's so arrogant all of a sudden. You are. You may not have identified why yet, but if you identify why, then you get into your next relationship healed and understanding what you did wrong and learn from it. That's what you have to do, but most of these men don't want the self-accountability.
I love that.
And they want to blame the women. You have to blame yourself. I know exactly now how to keep a woman happy. So I ain't got nothing to worry about. I've learned my lessons. I know exactly how to keep a woman happy. I know when to set a boundary, when to be nice. I know exactly what to do because I've self-analyzed. A lot of these red pill guys, they want to do exactly like you said, just run around and just bang chicks because they've never looked in the mirror and go, why do these chicks don't want to just love me? Why am I a fuck up? You're not perfect. God is perfect. Nobody is perfect. You need to analyze yourself. If you fix those problems, I'll give you an example. Even when I first started getting rich, I never worried about gold diggers because I can't be gold dug. But I was always a bit like weird about if a woman wants something expensive, that I was always a bit like, not because I'm tight, but just like, oh, we haven't been together that long. Why does she want such an expensive bag? Da, da, da. And over time I learned they don't want the expensive bag because it's an expensive bag. It's because my life is now so expensive and so grand. When I'm doing hyper expensive things, if I buy a $5 million car, I look like a dummy if I won't buy a $500 bag. I look frugal, and frugality is a form of fear, and it looks fearful. I could say no to a $500 bag when I had no money to the exact same girl, but when you have a certain amount of money, it's not that they're gold digging you, it's just that to you it's nothing, and there's a degree of gesture to it. And I also learned over time that, you know, the best way to get new beautiful women is for them to see your ex and how well she was treated. They love that shit. They love it. When they see all your ex, because women will do that. Women stalk me. When I had Instagram, they'd stalk me and they'd see the lifestyle my girl lived. And as soon as I was single, they were like, hey, woo, they want to turn. So I was like, you know, I actually get a larger ROI just being Mr. Nice. Cool. It's also helped me in my current situation. I've never been mean to anybody. Please call him. No, he was nice to me. Bye. There's a lot you learn, but you have to self-reflect and learn and pay attention to the mirror. These men who are afraid of commitment are not blaming themselves like they should. Because I actually truly believe, and this is never going to make the misogynistic supercut of the BBC, I actually truly believe that women in their hearts, unless they're completely corrupted by society, women just want to love and be loved and feel safe. That's what they want. They want a man that they can look at and they truly know he makes the decisions and I trust him to make the decisions and I love him for that and I respect him for that. That's what they truly want. When a woman starts turning on you, it's usually because she doesn't trust you for some reason. She doesn't trust your judgment. And that's not always cheating, it can be other things. Doesn't trust your judgment as a whole, right? If she starts to doubt your judgment, how can she truly love you? You're the protector, you're the provider. So if a woman's gone cold on you, you have to sit there and go, okay, she doesn't trust my judgment.
Feedback.
She doesn't trust my judgment. Yep. What have I done that made her doubt me? Did I get my 6th booster injection like a dummy? No wonder she doesn't want dick. Because I keep injecting myself with poison because I'm an idiot. It's not her fault, it's your fault. Every single time a woman leaves you as a man, it is your fault, always. Even if a richer, more successful, more alpha man stole her from you, it's still your fault because you need to be like him. It's always 100% your fault. These men don't take accountability. It's 100% their fault. Because people say to me, can you turn a hoe into a housewife? And I say, listen, I wouldn't want to, but I bet I fucking could. There ain't a woman alive who's gonna cheat on me. With who? With who? With who? Who's she gonna cheat on me with? Fucking the guy in Starbucks? Mr. KFC? No. She's with the top G. She's got all the clout. She's with the boss. She's in the 5-star in the Italian Alps. She's on the Gulfstream. She's in the Bugatti. Everyone's jealous of her. Who the fuck is she gonna cheat with? Nobody. There's not a girl alive I couldn't get loyalty from. Now, would I ever want to do it? Probably not. I like the idea of exclusivity. But once you get to a certain level, yeah. If you're that guy, you're that guy. You know what, maybe I'm getting a little bit sentimental in my old age.
Here we go.
But I am. Let's say I meet a girl, right? And she's 23, 24, and she's been with a guy for 6 or 7 years, and he loves her with all his heart, and she's talking to me. Part of me feels bad. I'm like, this is just like shooting fish in a barrel. This isn't even fair. This guy's gonna be heartbroken, man. He's gonna be devastated when he realizes she's with me. It's gonna hurt him, because he's gonna know there is no chance at all. No matter what he types in that text, it's done. And I actually feel bad. And I'll say to chicks, you know what? If you break up with him properly, leave it a while. I'm getting to that point now where I'm like, not while you're still kind of talking to him, no. I feel bad. It's too easy. I feel bad. So when I say I wouldn't do it to Kanye, I actually mean that. Pussy is not worth me, her. I don't even know him. But just like he loved her a lot, I'd feel bad. I could leave any of my girls with my friends for 20 years in a jail cell and they would never touch her. I know it. I know it. And I do believe that birds of a feather flock together. And when I've had a lot of guys email me as well and they say, hey man, my friend slept with my girlfriend, you know, I don't know what to do about it. And I will say, that's because you're a bitch. You're a bitch. And I'll tell you why you're a bitch, because you're rolling with bitches, which means you must be one. Because I'll tell you what, none of my friends, nobody on my team would ever do that to me, ever. If me and my girl split up, she is gone, she is done. They would never touch her in a million years, because that's the quality of man I roll with, because that's the quality of man I am. You become a better man, you'll get better friends, and this shit won't happen to you. If your own friends are snaking you for pussy, you're probably the kind of guy who snakes your own friends for pussy, so I blame you. It's your fault.